For ages, China held the title of America's top trading partner. But all that changed in 2023. With new economic trends gaining popularity, China's status as the world's manufacturing powerhouse is under threat. And the country, ready to step into the spotlight, is none but Mexico. How did Mexico climb up the economic ladder to not just compete with, but crush China? What's Mexico doing to maintain this coveted position as a top U.S. trading partner? Join us as we unravel the reason behind Mexico's success in international trade. How Mexico overtook China. Over recent years, many of the top 500 industrial corporations in the United States have shifted a portion of their manufacturing operations from China to Mexico. It began in 2018 when the Trump administration imposed tariffs on Chinese imports as a response to allegations of intellectual property theft. In retaliation, China slapped tariffs on U.S. goods, sparking a trade war that saw billions of dollars worth of goods caught in a crossfire. This tit-for-tat exchange of tariffs significantly disrupted trade flows between the two economic giants, leading to a notable decline in trade volumes. This move also marked the opening salvo in what later became known as the U.S.-China trade war. Subsequent rounds of tariffs followed in rapid succession. First, a smaller package covering $16 billion in goods, then a massive escalation in September, with tariffs imposed on $200 billion worth of products. Finally, these rates were raised to a crippling 25%, fundamentally altering the cost dynamics of importing goods from China. But the trade war was just the beginning. As the world grappled with the fallout from the COVID-19 pandemic, supply chains were thrown into disarray. Consumers flush with lockdown savings but restricted from traditional spending avenues turned to purchasing physical goods in unprecedented quantities. However, disruptions persisted as the pandemic wreaked havoc on both ends of the supply chain, from dock workers in California to manufacturers in China, Vietnam, and India. By late 2022, while the Trans-Pacific capacity crunch had ceased and container rates stabilized, supply chains remained fragile. The situation was further compounded by geopolitical tensions, notably Russia's invasion of Ukraine, which sent shockwaves through global trade routes. Beyond just the numbers, the trade spat reshuffled the deck in terms of global trade dynamics. China, once perched comfortably atop the list of U.S. trading partners, found itself displaced. In its place rose Canada to the second spot, with Mexico emerging as the new top trading partner for the U.S. companies that are now gravitating towards a policy of friendshoring, opting to establish operations in countries deemed friendly or closer to their consumer base. Why Mexico is experiencing an economic boom. Mexico's rise as a potential challenger to China's manufacturing dominance didn't happen overnight. It's been brewing for quite some time. Several factors contribute to Mexico's growing prominence on the global economic stage. First off, Mexico's strategic proximity to the United States has catapulted into a prime position for foreign investment, offering an enticing alternative to distant manufacturing hubs like China. This geographic advantage has spurred what's known as nearshoring, a trend in which supply chains, manufacturing, and trade relocate closer to home. For the U.S., Mexico represents the epitome of proximity, minimizing delivery lag times and insulating supply chains from global disruptions. The urgency to source essential goods during and after the pandemic accelerated the shift towards Mexico. While China could meet production demands, the lengthy shipping times of container ships ranging from 15 to 30 days prompted businesses to explore other options. The pandemic-induced shipping delays underscored the benefits of relying on Mexico as a primary supplier. Consider this. China's bustling Shanghai port sits 6,500 miles from Los Angeles, while Ford's plant in Hermosillo, Mexico is a mere 664 miles away, ensuring faster and cheaper transportation. Moreover, Mexico's proximity ensures greater reliability in deliveries compared to China, where delays due to ocean crossings and port congestion are common. The alignment of Mexico's political system with Western democracies further strengthens its appeal as a manufacturing hub. Unlike China's opaque governance, Mexico offers transparency and cooperation, making it an attractive choice for businesses seeking ethical and compliant manufacturing practices. Geopolitical stability is another feather in Mexico's cap, especially amid escalating tensions between the U.S. and China. Analysts foresee steady economic growth for Mexico as trade disputes divert investments from China. Concerns over Beijing's authoritarian rule and expansionist ambitions have prompted Western powers to pivot towards Mexico, a safer bet for business engagements. The specter of conflict over Taiwan looms large, potentially disrupting global supply chains anchored in China. In contrast, Mexico's political alignment and stability mitigate such risks, offering businesses a haven from geopolitical turmoil. The allure of Mexico's stable environment and reliable workforce is enticing enough for some companies to relocate their production from China. Another key factor is Mexico's abundant labor pool and competitive wages. The country boasts a sizable workforce willing to work at competitive rates, making it an appealing destination for companies seeking cost effective labor solutions. Companies are driven by one thing above all else: profit. And sometimes that means seeking out the cheapest labor available, regardless of the ethical implications. In Mexico, where the average income is significantly lower than in the US, businesses can exploit this wage gap to cut costs and maximize profits. While official figures may suggest a relatively higher income for Mexican workers, the reality is often far bleaker, with many laborers earning a fraction of what their counterparts in the US take home. In the manufacturing industry, where profit margins are razor thin, every cent counts. Despite lower wages, Mexico offers a reliable workforce and superior quality control compared to China, making it an attractive option for companies seeking cost effective production. This allure has not gone unnoticed by Chinese firms, with many flocking to Mexico to capitalize on its competitive labor market and favorable business conditions. Additionally, Mexico offers flexibility that many other nations lack. Its business friendly policies, coupled with a supportive regulatory environment, empower companies to adapt swiftly to changing market dynamics and seize emerging opportunities. This agility enables businesses to thrive and innovate in Mexico's dynamic business ecosystem. Mexico's journey towards economic prominence traces back to its historical ties with the United States. Despite initial tensions stemming from events like the Mexican American War, the two nations gradually developed strong economic and trade relations. These ties strengthened over time, laying the foundation for future collaboration and mutual prosperity. The Mexican economy received a significant boost with the signing of the North American Free Trade Agreement, NAFTA, in 1994. This landmark agreement facilitated the seamless flow of goods and services between Mexico, the United States, and Canada, fostering unprecedented levels of economic integration and cooperation. While NAFTA faced its share of challenges, economists generally credit it with stimulating economic growth and expanding North American trade. In 2020, NAFTA got a facelift, transforming into the USMCA, which expanded and fortified the free trade agreement between the United States, Mexico, and Canada. This reshaped trans landscape further solidified the economic ties between these three nations. The bond between the US and Mexico is primarily economic, with both countries prioritizing their interests. Essentially, when one benefits, so does the other. This reciprocal relationship underscores Mexico's growing importance as a trading partner for the United States. As of 2023, Mexico's claimed the top spot as the US's leading trading partner, surpassing both Canada and China. A staggering $263 billion worth of goods crossed the US-Mexico border in the first 4 months that year alone. Mexican exports to the U.S. totaled approximately $157 billion, while U.S. exports to Mexico reached $107 billion. This marked a significant shift, with Mexico accounting for 15.4% of all U.S. trade, edging out Canada and China. Can Mexico replace China on a global scale? While it's been experiencing significant progress, Mexico still faces hurdles on its path to becoming a manufacturing powerhouse. Corruption, inadequate infrastructure, and logistical challenges pose significant barriers to sustained growth. Despite these obstacles, Mexico's economic trajectory remains upward, fueled by its strategic advantages and growing reputation as a manufacturing hub. As Mexico's manufacturing sector continues to expand, it may capture a larger share of global production, but it's unlikely to dethrone China as the world's manufacturing capital. China's economic prowess and global reach are unmatched, ensuring its continued dominance in the years to come. Still, Mexico continues to provide more facilities to enhance its global trade capacity. A seemingly dirt road in northern Mexico is set to be an industrial park, the Hofusan Industrial Park. It's a sprawling 200-acre complex established through a partnership between China and Mexico, aiming to attract Chinese manufacturers. It's so new that satellite maps haven't caught up yet. The vision for this industrial park is ambitious: to entice over 100 Chinese manufacturers, develop residential areas for employees, and offer a range of amenities from Chinese eateries to hotels and healthcare facilities. The goal is to create a slice of China where labor is stable and Chinese business executives feel at home. While much of this land still resembles a construction zone, progress is evident. Electronics giant Hisense has already set up shop there, alongside furniture makers like Kuka Home, Sunan, and Manhua. Other Chinese manufacturers like Faur, Skyash, Lejong, Asenstar, and Bellanturf have also bought into the project. The incentives are compelling, especially given the cost competitiveness of manufacturing in Mexico since the onset of the trade war. Despite the ongoing development and the absence of promised amenities, China's companies are seizing the opportunity both inside and outside the gates of Hofusan Park. Lenovo, a prominent tech company, has been manufacturing just outside Monterrey for over a decade. In 2022 alone, 44 Asian companies, primarily Chinese owned, opened new manufacturing facilities in Mexico, with a significant portion concentrated in the state of Nuevo Leon. This graph depicting Chinese investment in Mexico illustrates a clear upward trend. Concerns regarding security and infrastructure still remain, but the allure of Mexico as a manufacturing hub outweighs the drawbacks. While China's presence in northern Mexico is relatively new, other countries like Japan, South Korea, and the US have long recognized the region's value. But then, while consumers in North America may see more Made in Mexico labels on their products, China will remain a formidable player on the world stage. The global economy is a complex ecosystem, with both Mexico and China playing pivotal roles in its functioning and evolution. As such, the rise of Mexico as a manufacturing hub may not be a threat to China's supremacy on a global scale, but rather a testament to the shifting dynamics of global trade and commerce. Thanks for watching. Do you think this newfound partnership between Mexico and the US will last forever? Share your thoughts in the comments section. Also, make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel. See you in the next one.